ho, 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 ho!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! How?
We can officially say that. Sorry, I yelled in my mic. It is officially legal to say that because we were very thankful on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Which side of the aisle do you fall on when it comes to when to bring Christmas out?
Well, we start Christmas music a little, or Mark actually did it this year. He's in October.
Okay.
But then we are like after Thanksgiving people.
Yeah, we are too.
Yeah.
We are too. So I'm a hunting widow. If you're a hunting widow out there and understand that, you know what I mean. And so Saturday, of course, my husband was in the tree stand. Was it Saturday? When did we get the snowstorm? Was that Friday? No, Saturday, because he was in the stinking tree. Ladies, you'll understand this. 911 Kosciuszko comes out and says, please get off the roads. There's a massive snowstorm coming in. So I texted to my husband and I said, just want you to know, you're an hour away from home. 911 says, get off the roads. Oh, I'll check with Tony, our son. Well, they blamed it on each other. They didn't get out of the tree. So finally, there was another urgent alert, and I texted both of them. And here was my key. Here is how I won this battle. I didn't text those two. I texted Tony's wife. Guess who texted his father and said, did mom talk to Andrea? But they were home, and they were home safely.
That's good.
That whole day, I watched a marathon of Hallmark movies all day long.
I can't.
Once you start one, and then the next day, I switched it and I did it because I was a 2-day hunting widow. I did a series of Criminal Minds. So it was bipolar. So I covered the scheme and I didn't leave my house. I texted my daughter-in-law a picture of my Life 360 that says you've been home 2 hours and 74 hours. 2 days and 74 hours.
Listen, I can't do Hallmark movies. I can't because if I'm able to predict what's going to happen, then I don't want to watch it.
But there's such peace in that. Like, you know that you don't have to worry if he's coming home, and you don't have to worry if she's going to actually get on that plane. Like, there's just a piece of knowing that I have control over the next 2 hours of my life.
Oh my goodness.
Try it with that perspective of control. I have a control problem. You know I do.
I just really can't.
You know, just try it. Just try it. But Criminal Minds is kind of the same thing, only it was a little bit dark. And last night, I had nightmares. I had this dream that I had to go to work at Grace College.
Oh, that is a nightmare.
And that I didn't know what to do with my clients because I signed up for this job and I didn't know the details. I didn't know when I'd have to be there, but I was just told to report to duty. And I showed up at Grace College and they had my desk ready. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with my clients. I have a new career. When you take progesterone, have you taken that yet?
No.
Oh, you get the best sleep of your life, but it also makes you work in your dreams. And yeah.
I'm hoping that I don't have to take that for a while.
Oh, you will. You will thank me. You will kiss me when you get that first dose. Oh my gosh. It's life-changing, ladies. How was your week?
Oh my word. It's talk about snowstorms.
Yeah.
We had the most last night. Like we got ours.
Yeah.
It's not as much as you. But we headed to our delay. And not only did a bus not make it to our house because it slid off. Now, just as a disclaimer, there were no kids on this bus yet. My kid was the first one to be picked up, and he slid on my road.
Good.
So he's safe.
Is the bus driver okay?
Safe.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good.
I passed it as I sent our second child. I drove him to school accidentally early, and then I got a phone call from my mother-in-law saying, "Hey, you are not supposed to drop your kid off that early." I was like, It's a mess. And it's not even 11 o'clock
Well,
yet.
here we are. We're early. So
I
we're
was
making up for what happened this morning.
Yep, I was outside shoveling the walk
Mhm.
to the end of the drive, only to
Oh.
drop my kid off at the other road, my first one.
Yeah.
So it's,
Do you know how I shovel?
you don't?
I wait till it warms up. It just takes care of itself.
That's Mark's method. But I'm like, I don't want to be stepping in snow all the way to the end of the drive. So
You're high maintenance. I just stay
I
inside and watch
just-
Hallmark movies.
I was sweating. It was hot. I got my workout. You got your workout. Mine was shoveling this morning.
I did,
So.
and I worked out this morning. It was leg day.
Yeah,
Leg
that's
day.
awesome.
And as I was doing my squats, I knew that we had a small group tonight, and we take Brian's truck, and it's very high, and it hurts. Oh my gosh!
When you don't work out and you have leg day, yeah.
2 days in a row.
Yeah.
And I go back to what I told small group yesterday. The key to working out in the morning is to put your tennis shoes and your socks on. You don't have to put any other clothes on, just your tennis shoes. You will be at the gym.
Wait a minute. We need to rewind.
I put clothes on. I did. Oh gosh, I had such a good coaching day yesterday. Can I just brag about it? And you can brag about yours too.
Yes.
Because when we coach, the secret to your success, a lot of people's success, is to obtain us and to retain us through the holidays. And a lot of people say, well, that's a bad thing. I want to enjoy the holidays. I want to do this. But the secret is understanding how to operate the holidays with your new lifestyle. And our clients lose 20 pounds from now until Christmas. They just do. But there's always a secret dread about Monday morning after Thanksgiving. Whew. Am I going to crash the train? Am I going to, what has happened with these people? Did they, because we prepare them. We have several sessions, hard, intense sessions with our clients on how to handle the holidays, both socially and food wise.
Yeah.
But you never know. Does it click? Is it good? Is it bad? What happened? My first session yesterday with our new CGM program, we can literally watch what our clients are doing. There's no cheating for them because the CGM tells everything.
Yeah.
I logged on, holding onto my desk, saying, Jesus, help me with these clients today. Help me be nice. Help me put them back on track. I opened up her CGM that morning, 100% in range.
That's amazing.
And you know that they're not it's not necessarily not on plan, but by the spikes, exactly what they've eaten. I don't even have to look. And 100% in range.
That's amazing.
And this client lost 2 pounds over Thanksgiving. And I'm like, Thank you, Jesus, for that first session because it fired me up.
Yeah.
Second session was the same. Group was amazing yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
These people, they did what we said.
Yes.
It's like when you're kids and you're so excited when they obey the rules and you're so proud. Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah. It's not a full moon.
All day we had super success, weight loss, and it was great. How about your sessions?
So again, my sessions were great. I love the CGM because it's encouraging. It's showing them that you're not failing. You are metabolically becoming healthier and healing, and the CGMs show that. I had a client that was kind of on a plateau for a bit, and she did what I asked her to do by making a plan. And so when she made that plan, she was able to she ate a sweet potato actually.
Yeah.
And this is not why, but she lost 3 pounds the last week. And so that just showed like, hey, it shook your body up. Like she's now to let our people know, like she is on point all the time doing keto, because that's her choice of what she's following. Yeah. And so she got into this plateau of like, well, I'm not losing weight. She was not only followed being prepared and followed our plan that we had, but she lost 3 pounds after she had a sweet potato. So sometimes it just goes to show you that it's really important to do the tools that the coaches tell you to try, and you might be surprised.
Yeah.
So
it's very scary for them. It's very scary for them to do that, because we've been in this diet culture of you can't eat this, you can't eat that, and they're like, "Are you sure, coach? Are you sure?"
Yeah.
I have 2 of my clients this week on that sweet potato program, and I'm like, you know what? Homeostasis is a thing that God created because He wanted to keep us alive.
Yeah.
And our bodies do everything it can to hold on to normal, kind of like the Hallmark movies.
Whatever.
Seriously, it's like, like everything's fine, everything is okay, and I don't have to do anything else. Our bodies just do that, and then we shake it up with Criminal Minds. We go out polar opposite, and we have weight loss happen. But
and nightmares. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe that's why I had that nightmare. I bet you it is, of showing up to work. I don't want to stop coaching. I am not hireable anymore.
No.
So that's probably why I watched Criminal Minds last night until I went to bed. Don't do that. That's
oh my goodness.
Silly.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. So it was great. It was great. I was reminded yesterday. I needed to do that. I needed this reminder that I love my job. I love helping people to freedom, and it was awesome. So our message today, we're going to talk about how do you lose weight during the holidays? Is it, I used to gain about 20 pounds from, the holiday season every year. And then
it's so easy to do.
January 1st comes and you take it off, and it was just a constant cycle. And even I lost 2 pounds this year. And I'm like, what do I do? What in the world? You totally can. So we're going to talk about that today. How you lose weight over the holidays. Now, there is a fad right now about easy weight loss and, the shot and how to, we're not talking about that today. We're talking about it does take you do hard things when you lose weight. You can't lose weight and keep it off if you're not doing hard things, period. Right. Even on the shot. The ones that are on the shot and say, I'm going to stop taking the shot because I don't want to throw up over the holidays and I want to gorge myself. You are a prime picture of why it doesn't work, right? Because even if you're on the shot and you choose to do hard things and you choose to eat right over the holidays, that is a very good sign that you may actually keep your weight off. And we're going to cheer for you, right? But there's 3 letters, and we talked about this in group, 3 letters that are my most happiest, most wise thoughts that I have in this coach's heart, and it's 3 letters. P-R-E. You want to kick us off with that? P-R-E?
Yeah. Well, we just kind of mentioned it a little bit with our coaching sessions of, preparing what your plan is and preparing for the holidays. So prepare for it's a mindful thing. Being mindful of the facts that we have a holiday, we have traditions, we have all of these parties, these get-togethers that we come across. And it's not just one, y'all. Don't just say, oh, it's just Christmas. No, we have lots of things. And when you plan and see, okay, this is what I have, this is what I have, this is what I have. You plan how many events you have. You see how many opportunities you are given to not fail, but give in or not be prepared.
Yeah. Your brain and my brain are opposites.
Oh, is that?
It is so hilarious to if I get in your brain and I want to know what Darcy's thinking, I'm going to think, what am I not thinking about? That's hilarious. I think that's inborn in us. Prepare. Absolutely. Before you prepare, you have to pre-think. You have to pre-think, and you also hit that one in your prepare. Actually all of these words are the same. They're all the same. But in order to prepare, you got to think, pre-think. What is it? And we have our if you're a client of ours and you are doing your assignment, I want you to write your assignment in the comments, okay? Because we have them doing an assignment right now.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that creeps up on so many people is that they've not prepared, but that they haven't thought about their schedule, right? They just let life happen to them. I am number one at that. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I know I have a client at noon. That's the only thing I know about today, right? But if we don't pre-think, we are going to let those creepers creep up, and then you're going to be at a party and you're not going to be able to prepare because you haven't thought, oh gosh, I have a party tonight. I have a small group tonight. I got to think, what is going on tonight? How is that going to impact my eating habits? What do I need to do to prepare, right? So you've got to map out your days from now until Christmas. Now, there's poppers. There's things that pop up, right? But if you don't know what's on your schedule from now until Christmas, you're going to fall, period.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our clients right now doing an assignment. Map out your schedule. Take a physical calendar, look at it. What do you have on it? What is on your schedule tonight? What's on your schedule this week? What parties do you have coming up? What outings do you have? Map it out. So you got to pre-think. And then I lost the other two.
Well, I already said one, so prepare.
Yeah. Pre-think, pre-plan, and prepare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Darcy, have you done your homework?
I done my homework. Yes,
do you
actually,
know what,
I
do you know
have.
what's coming up? So
Yeah.
Talk us through it. How do you do that? Because we got pre-think, pre-plan, and prepare. What does your life look like?
So my life looks like chaos because of all of the events, all of the volunteering, all of the get my kids here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's going to be a lot of times away from home.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that from Thanksgiving, it was like a preview of what this Christmas holiday is going to look like.
Yeah.
What I did was, I made Thanksgiving was great. Thanksgiving, I made a lot of keto treats for us and things that I don't typically eat anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So my body's saying, hey, girl, you've had too many keto sweets.
Uh-huh.
You've had too many of this. And so my body's telling me, you've had too much. You're feeling swollen. You're feeling just discombobulated. So to prepare for Christmas, I'm choosing to use some of our tools that we have. Carnivore is a great tool. Making sure that you are, I think fasting can be a tool as well. Like if you are being mindful of when you're eating and when you're not going to eat, I think that's a great setup. But I plan on doing majority keto or a carnivore this month, and then adding some ketovore on those holiday events that I have. I am making sure that my body is fueled before I go to some of these events, like Colin's got a holiday band thing. So that's going to be a crazy day. I know that. So I'm going to pre-plan my food choices before I go, so I'm not ravenous, so that I am not feeling the weight of going out to eat afterwards, or having to grab something really quick. I'm going to pre-plan my food choices before that. So
yeah,
those are simple things that you can do for your holidays. And then what is the thing that we tell our clients to do if they know that they're maybe going to have an event, but they don't know what's going to be there?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. When you said fuel your body before events, if you are going into an unfamiliar, situation. Now, right now, it's really cool because charcuterie boards are like the rave.
Yeah.
Always veggie trays, things like that. Very rarely do you go to a party that you don't have something unless you're going to a French pastry, tea or something like that. But fueling your body before those events that are unfamiliar, knowing that, okay, maybe there are things there that I can eat, but then you're not going to eat a bunch of stuff when you get there. You can still enjoy that food while you're there. And I tell my clients, when you have those things, we're not so much worried about the calories because, a big fear is, well, if I eat before and then they do have food there that I can eat, I'm going to go over my calories. Well, first of all, you're not going to take as much food because you've already filled yourself and you're going to actually enjoy that food. But I tell them, we're not freaking out. We're not looking for perfection of the holidays. So if you eat, more than your macros or something like that, it's not the end of the world. So fueling your body before you go to unfamiliar events. Now, if you're going to an event that you have control over, those are the best kinds because you can make whatever you want. Or if you're going to a pitch-in dinner or something like that, you can take the food that you can eat. So that goes along with the pre-thinking, of I'm thinking before I go. It is when you're caught. What's the saying? When you're caught, surprised. When you're surprised at an event, that's when you slide off plan because you think, well, I'm going to offend the people that I'm going to see, or I'm starving, I'm ravenous. That's when you make the bad choices, when you're not prepared and you're not fueled. So I think Darcy nailed it, first. And I love what she said about the carnivore and fasting. I am not a proponent of being carnivore necessarily, unless that's your jam. But if you, on your downtimes, we all have downtimes, right? You're having a downtime right now, and that dairy kind of impacted you and the sweets kind of impacted you during Thanksgiving. So you just went to your safe space during that downtime. So using those carnivore tools in your downtime when you've got control over things, it lessens the impact of, not being perfect at the holidays. Our clients are not perfect on the holidays. I'm not perfect on the holidays. And that's also a weak spot in journeys. It's, well, since I'm not perfect, I can't do it anyway. I might as well throw it all out,
Right.
So I love those two tips of fueling your body before you go and then using those down times to really clean it up and really, zone in. And so you thought it through.
I would, yeah, I would add, when you, and I'm surprised you didn't say this one, but when you're pre-thinking, that if you don't know the territory that you're going into, you be prepared with, adding some keto options in your purse. Making sure that you're prepared with, something that is going to help you through that event, because uncharted territory is a scary place. And like you said, that's when people either give in or people are like, well, there was nothing else there. So I ate what everybody else was eating.
Yeah.
So when you don't give yourself that option of being able to eat what everybody else is eating, you have that thing in your purse, or if you're a man, put it in your wife's purse, or
a big, beautiful purse.
Yeah, whatever that is. Yeah. I think that's really important. But when I say, for me, my choice being carnivore, I know my body well enough to know that is how I personally feel at my best.
Yeah.
I feel, and I know it's a little bit more challenging to eat carnivore when you have gatherings like that. But that's the times you don't choose to eat carnivore and you more so choose to eat a ketovore or whole food type of style. So that's what I would say.
Yeah. And when you're at these events, go for the meat first. Put protein, focus on protein first, and then pepper your plate with everything else. Because that's going to also make you feel full. And the reason being, is the thermal effect of food, the TEF. That just means it takes longer for your body to process that meat first, and that's why you feel full a lot quicker. So when you're at these events, don't not put something on your plate unless it's, you know, sugar or the bad stuff, right? But focus on the protein first. That's in anything in life. Eat your meat and your fat first, and then your carbs. That's going to just make it. And also, focus on the people there and talk while you're eating. Slow down while you're eating. When you're talking and laughing and having a great time while you're eating, you're automatically slowing down your eating, and you're not going to shove it in fast. One of the biggest struggles that I have, and I think a lot of people have, is fast eating. And that's why we recommend, you know, when our clients go through the buffet line, they put half of their serving on their plate first, and then, you know, you can go back for the rest of it. But you're slowing down your eating during that time.
Yeah.
So pre-think, get your maps out, map it out, you know, put it on the refrigerator, put it where you can see it. Pre-plan. What are you going to do? What are you going to do in these situations? You know, put all the options on the table. What happens if this happens? You know, pre-plan and then prepare. And this is where Darcy did such an incredible job on what do you do during those times? What do you do when you have that holiday party? Well, I've got my workout group. The gym is having a Christmas party on Friday. And they were talking about it at the gym the other day. What is going to be there? Well, he's going to have Mexican food there. So in my mind, I'm already pre-planning. You know, there's not going to be any tortillas on my plate. But there is so much I can put on my plate. So I'm already planning. You know, that outing.
Right. I think. Go ahead.
What do you do with your kids? Because you have a different kind of lifestyle than we do. You've got a lot of kid stuff happening. Is there anything that you do differently around the kids or around their schedules and events? Because it's probably sugary, right?
I think the sugar temptation for me, because I've worked hard and because I've gone to our group, I've gone to you as accountability, that those things don't tempt me. But if you do get tempted by those things, I think that's when, you know that if you have to bake cookies for a school event or those things, you've got to make sure that you have your own items. And that's why I created the keto treats for Thanksgiving, knowing that I don't typically eat those anymore. Because, I mean, it's something that I don't think about much, but I know that that's not like other people. So making sure that you have something available for yourself and for your kids. And yes, that might mean that you have to make two different things, but there's so many easy go-to quick recipes out there that there should be no excuse on why you couldn't have something that is for you.
Yeah.
If you are able to say no. But for me, when I make those items, one of our viewers just mentioned, which was my mother-in-law, one of our viewers was talking about how, the addiction side of things. I know that I have a food addiction, and I have to keep that in mind. I can't let my guard down when I make those keto treats, knowing that if I know it's in the refrigerator, I'm thinking about it all day. If that rings a bell for you, if you make your keto sweets and or fat bombs or anything like that, if you're thinking about, this is just one of the things, if you're thinking about it nonstop and you're like, oh, I think, I'm going to have a piece of my leftover pecan pie. Mm-hmm. It's still in the fridge. I ate that first before I ate anything else, which is not a good thing. Right. That's why we have to get rid of it. Put it in the freezer. Yeah. Like, you can freeze these things, and it's going to be a little bit more challenging to grab something that's just sitting in your fridge or that leftover. Mm-hmm. So for my kids, they're going to live their life. They're going to, I'm going to introduce better choices for them. But in the same aspect, I'm helping them balance how much of something they eat, and so they're not necessarily thinking about those sweets all the time, like I do. So
Yeah. Well, and I want to tag on to a couple of things you said, Darce. Sugar cravings. When you are sugar free, and I don't know what the time frame is, I can't remember, but you lose those cravings. When you don't give in, every time you don't give in is a victory for your future. Because the minute you give in, you open those dopamine pathways again. And it's just science about it's not your willpower, it's science. What happens in your brain? Sugar is as addictive as cocaine. And so when you get the mindset of I'm not cheating, there's nothing you can do, and it's rough for the first maybe couple years, and I won't lie to you, but I can tell you after you have said no so many times, and after you get a different mindset, there was a whole host of sugar on that table on Thanksgiving, and I literally did not even think about it. It's like I couldn't even see them on the table. It's like, oh, that has sugar. I don't want it. Pass it over. Those cravings do pass. And I don't know what the time frame is for you, but the minute you open yourself up to that chip, and it doesn't have to be sweets, it could be chips, it could be salty, you could be a salty person. When you say no enough, those cravings go away and you're not tormented for the rest of your life on that. And so just know that. But the minute you open it up, the minute you take that first chip, it's like you can't just have one. That opens it up, and it just kind of, it's like an alcoholic, that first drink leads to the second drink and the second drink. Same thing happens to your brain with, the carbohydrates. Same thing happens. And so that goes away, but you got to be strong on the front side of it. And Darcy said, the second thing she said that resonated was about don't let your guard down. The holiday season gives us permission without us even knowing it to let our guard down because we want to not miss out on anything. We want that same feeling that we had growing up of, the things that you eat, the pumpkin pie, all of those things. You naturally let your guard down during this season. January, your guard's right up there. But your guard is let down. And when you let your guard down and you say, I just don't want to think about it, those slingers are going to come at you. And you will end up taking that first bite, that first chip, that first piece of pie. You will do that if your guard is down. I say build tall fences, because if you have short fences and if you let your social aspect or you let that Aunt Sally get in your brain and say, well, I made it for you. If you don't have tall fences, you're going to go after it. But if you keep your tall fences and you keep your guard high, nothing is going to get in the way. And I always encourage, tonight, I'm going to small group. I know what they're having and they're so kind. They're like, can you have this without this? And I used to say, oh, don't worry about me. But now I say, yeah, I actually can have that. But also what is going in my purse tonight for small group is a Lily's chocolate bar because I want that social part. I want to enjoy it. I love Lily's chocolate bars. I don't eat them all the time, but that's going in my purse because I also want to enjoy their pumpkin pie with them in that social aspect.
Yeah. I think, our family group that we just had, this is a great example of preparing. We have our tribe and we're planning for Christmas already. We're planning for what we're doing. And, instead of, when the windows open of like, hey, what's our plan for Christmas? What do we want to have? What's the scoop? Instead of just sitting back and saying, oh, I don't care, whatever you want to do. I don't want to inconvenience you or blah, blah, blah. Add some suggestions. Yes. I said Taco Bar is usually a good go-to because, we can do a lot with that. So, suggesting a taco bar, it's not necessarily a traditional holiday meal, but it could be. Maybe some good, easy go-to soups, a soup kind of thing. So making suggestions and actually chiming in and having an opinion and a suggestion. Don't be rude about it. Say, or, don't be all, oh, I can't have any of that. So and go and have a tantrum about it. Um, but just, suggestions are great because most of the time people don't want to make the decision of what to make. So when you come up with a plan for people, I think that's a great go-to. And we did that with Thanksgiving. We did that with, whomever is even making the holiday meal, you have a lot of say in what happens in your kitchen. You have we have a client that had Thanksgiving all at her house and she did all the cooking. And she's like, nobody knew that my meals were all keto or carnivore. They did not even know. They did not even, say bah humbug. They came, they ate, they were happy. And most of the time, that's the case. We overthink what people think about the situation. And,
even with the sugar-free stuff, and, because we do label the sugar-free stuff at our table. There are so many people at your holiday party. I guarantee you there's somebody there with diabetes, type 2 diabetes. When you bring a sugar-free thing, it is like, for those people who don't even know that they're keto or that they can't have sugar, those people are so grateful for you because they were going to go. I was a pre-diabetic. I would go eat their stuff because that's all that was there. But if there was a sugar-free option, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, so there's probably gluten-free people, at these. And so when you bring that stuff, it may be your lifestyle, but it may be somebody's medical lifestyle that they're so grateful that you brought that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So have an opinion. I think women have the most problem with this. Men just eat whatever, but I think women have the most problem with that. I don't care. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't care. Start caring because it's your life. It is your future. And I was just thinking the other day, I just got so sad thinking about diagnoses, and how we as women, maybe men too, but mostly women, don't care if we're killing ourselves. If you knew that you were cutting 10 years off of your life for your kids, would you change? If you knew the end of your life, if you knew that the end of your life with diabetes or insulin resistance, and you knew that took you away from your family 10 years before you could have actually lived, and your kids had to bury you, would you be willing to step away from the donut then? What will it take? What year? How many years would it take? If you say, 20 years, would you change your life then? If you knew you were going to die? And that's really a morbid thought, but it's really a sad thought too, of how many women really don't realize they're killing themselves. Men too.
It's one of those avoidance kind of thoughts. It's kind of like when we talk about AI and how we know that AI is a new tool and it's getting out of hand, and we see disaster in the near future. We see the potential of what could happen, yet there's nothing we do about it. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. But the difference between AI and the difference between your health is the fact that you can make that choice and you can turn it around. And that was the thing. Like, if you know that your doctor's saying, this needs to change or you're going to have a heart attack. If you do wait 10 years and you're like, well, it hasn't happened yet, well, you're getting closer and closer to that heart attack. You're getting closer and closer to having to take that medication medications that they're going to try to say, this is going to help with these issues. Well, if you can make the decision beforehand, if you can turn your life around and make the decision that, I'm going to eat better, first of all, get out of the politics of food. Food is food. Whole Foods is a better option. So if you know that, then why are we still choosing to use these ultra processed? Why are we trying to talk ourselves out of, oh well, those are crunchy people. Those are the crunchy people that are really like extra. And but
Yeah.
why are we still making those decisions to not change our lifestyle when our health is on the
Yeah.
line?
I heard this thing this morning. I forget if it was on the news or on. I think it was a meme. It said, I would rather be the oldest person on the trail than the youngest person in the nursing home," because they were talking about
Mm-hmm.
hiking, and it showed a
Yeah.
picture of an old woman hiking, and that just hit me hard. And you've talked about that, with your Iron Man thing, or what is it that you want to do as an
Uh,
80-year-old woman?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't want to
yeah,
do that. No, I do.
yeah. I would rather be the oldest
I,
person in the gym than the youngest person in a nursing home.
yes.
Yeah,
Right.
but
And here's my other thing, and this is for these ladies that are in premenopause or menopause. Like, you can reverse and take hold of
yeah,
that. That is not a predestination for
no,
you. It does not have to be. So if you get your life in check, and if um, you learn about how your body personally works, and you start to take action on it, not just saying, "Oh well, I've hit this age, so now I'm doomed
yeah,
to
yeah,
menopause." Listen, you don't have to be doomed to menopause. There's so many things that you can
yeah,
do to prevent that menopause from happening. And
yeah.
so
There's symptoms.
I
Menopause will always happen.
it will
Symptoms. You don't have to live in hell.
the
Yeah,
symptoms, yes, menopause is going to happen, but the symptoms of
yeah,
menopause doesn't have to be the
no.
breaking point. It doesn't have to be your
But
destination.
here's the thing: you've got to look at your life and say, no, actually, I am worth it. Because so many of our people, when we get them in the program, they've lost their identity, and they think that they're super women to everybody in their life. And you've got to love yourself enough to take care of yourself so you can be around for your kids, so you can live the best life. I do not want to live the rest of my life in a wheelchair. When I could be walking. I don't want to live the rest of my life not being able to play with my grandkids. But we are so selfish. I think it is selfish for women to say that.
Hmm.
To put everybody else first. I think that is very selfish of them, because your kids are losing you. How in the world do you think you're doing the best thing that you can by eating your life away? I just think that that's selfish. And I lived 30 years of my life as a selfish woman because I didn't want to take the time to cook. I was too tired. I didn't want to take the time to take care of myself. There were some things that I didn't know. I didn't know about keto. I didn't know about healthy living. So there was some things that I genuinely did not know. I thought starving myself was the healthy thing. Um,
Hmm.
but the majority, I'm speaking for myself only, the majority, I was just selfish because it was about me. It was about how I felt, not about how my kids didn't get to see me on the playground with them. That was selfish of me. And I realized it the day that I was running with my nephew in Fort Wayne. I was going down the slide and I'm like, it hit me as I hit the bottom of that curly slide. I couldn't do that with my kids because I was too big,
Hmm.
and I didn't have the breath in my body to do it. And I live with a lot of guilt for that. I really do. And I understand. Got to let it go, Monica. You got your grandkids. But 4 of my children did not have a mother because I was too scared to change my life. Yeah. And I didn't know how, you know?
Right.
So this is about being healthy at the holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate. It is how to do it, and it has 3 letters. You want to pre-think, pre-plan, and prepare. But if you don't do that first one, you're not going to be able to do the second 2. If you don't know what's on your schedule, the first holiday party that you go to, you're going to be panicked. And then that panic leads to indulgence. So I want everybody who's listening to us today, I want you to map out your calendar. What's it look like? It's the scary thing to do because we realize how full our schedule is during the season. So sometimes I don't want to know how busy it is, and it stresses me out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you know what's coming, you're going to be able to do the second 2 and prepare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just add, I put we justify.
Oh, yes.
That's what I wrote this word down. We justify. We justify not being different from other people. We justify our health symptoms and ailments. We justify, and we justify them to be okay. We justify, oh, this is just a part of the norm. Or we justify the fact that there's so many misinformation, political, like all these things out in the social media and what people think. In fact, if you are justifying all of these options of, oh, I don't want to be different, I don't want to stick out, I don't want to put people out, I don't want to, fill in the blank of what you are justifying for not changing. Another one is I'm listening to everybody else around me. And for the people that have never walked this path, that are also maybe overweight, are also unhealthy, you're listening to them. And when you listen to them, you're not going to change. You're going to be where they are. You're going to end up at the doctor saying, and they're like, hey, this blood work does not look great for you. So then you are now listening to bad news, but you still are able to justify eating like everybody else and not sticking out. We're different. You're different. I'm different. The next person next to you is different. Your body is screaming at you and telling you that there needs to be change, and you need to stop listening to the people that are not allowing you to change for the better. If you're listening to the people that are stuck and are saying that keto thing is going to kill you, or carnivore is not, you're not getting fiber, your body needs fiber. You're listening to these people that have heard the news through other people that are not giving you the truth.
Literally happened in my session this week. Complete derailment of lifestyle. Client had lost a lot of weight and suddenly started listening to the outside family members who are saying, oh, that's dangerous. You're looking too thin. You need to eat this. You need to eat that. And because of that outside influence of family members who are overweight, started eating and just shoving in the junk food and gaining the weight back. Typically, when you get those outside influencers who are saying this is bad for you, this is bad, they don't know what you're doing. I challenge any doctor, and I do with all of my clients, the ones who say, oh, this is very unhealthy. I challenge them. And we have a way to pull their reports when they log their food for us. We can pull an Excel spreadsheet. And I do this. I say, okay, I'm going to download your food log. And I am going to ask you to take this to your doctor. And I challenge that I will go nose to nose with that doctor to tell me what you're eating is unhealthy. Not one physician has come back to me and said, oh, well, I didn't know you were eating that way. Well, that's the style we eat, right? That's what we eat. Yeah. Never once. Barring a medical issue for a certain problem. And then we tweak it. We don't change the lifestyle. We tweak it. We add an extra meal in there if you've got a gallbladder issue. We add, we remove a little bit of fat. We do tweaks. But barring that, I have never had a doctor say, oh, I guess you are okay. Oh, you are eating veggies. Oh, you are. Never. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's fake news out there. And when you again lower your guard, you start to listen to that. And the first thing you do is pick up a donut. Well, see, it was unhealthy anyway. I might as well eat a donut.
Yeah.
Here's 10 pounds.
It's funny because when I had my doctor's appointment and my doctor asked me what I did for a living, I said, oh yeah, I have them eat this certain way. I help people reverse their diabetes. And he had nothing else to say. He did not come and ask me questions. He was like, oh, okay. That's all he said. I would have expected if he had something any concern or what have you, say, well, why would you try to reverse somebody's diabetes if it's not possible. Well, listen, it is possible. And these people don't have to be on medication because they can reverse it. And so to me, when a doctor is not asking questions after I mention something, I think, okay, what's wrong with this picture here?
You don't medicate your way out of type 2 diabetes. No matter what any doctor tells you, you do not medicate your way out of type 2 diabetes. You eat your way out of it. All of it. It is reversible with your diet. We've got the secret sauce. We've got the secret recipe. We've got the meal plan for you to reverse your type 2 diabetes. You do not have to be on medication for type 2 diabetes. Period.
Right.
I have not seen one client come through our practice that has not reversed it. Following plan.
Yeah.
Off insulin, off of all medications. Following plan.
Yep.
So it's a high emotional time for people because this is so much about family and friends and celebrations. So it's very emotional, but you can do it. Typical client, when they meet with us one-on-one every week, typical client will lose 20 pounds during the holidays. It's just what happens. And so we just want to leave you with some hope today and with some tools, some hope and some tools.
Yeah. I would say, and I said this years ago. I say years because we've been in practice for a while. And I began my journey in September. I see September as the doorway to the holiday season.
Yep.
And I lost probably about 10 pounds a month. So by January, I was feeling just fine. I was feeling great.
Yep.
And I couldn't wait to get my summer clothes on because all that hard work that I did. And when we say hard work, it was mental hard work because there was a lot of mental preparedness and
grit.
So, and now, Mark and I are living testimonies of changing your blood, changing your body, changing your what your metabolic health is. And so if we can do that, and we did it together, so it made it a little easier. But if you're able to just reverse what your metabolic health is, you can go on years later and just be so thankful that you decided to say yes, that you decided to do the work, that you decided to confront some people that were not healthy for you. And to say, you know what, I'm changing my life for the good. I have reversed pre-diabetes. I have reversed whatever ailment that is coming about because of the causation of eating food that is not good for you. Our tradition looks a little bit different here on the holiday season because we don't make, cookies and cakes and bake them and all that stuff for people. We make wiser decisions.
Yeah.
And so we changed our tradition of that downward spiral of the holidays that you just binge.
And the payoff for that is that you get to live again. So the reward for the hard work and the reward for saying no to things outweighs, no pun intended, it outweighs the result that you get. There's not, I look at my life now and if it came down, my donut story, if it came down to me enjoying one donut over the life I live now, keep your donut. Keep it.
Yeah.
I'm not even, it's not even a temptation for me anymore. And the reward for that is that you can make those same kinds of items using different ingredients and enjoy it just as much.
Yeah. So true.
So that's our challenge for you today. If you need our help, I had a big swallow there. If you need our help, now's the time to get on our schedule. We meet with you weekly. The signature program we have is our CGM 3-month program. And you look in our eyeballs once a week and we get you through those peaks and those valleys. There's a lot of peaks, but there's also a lot of valleys. And so we get you through that. You want to get on our schedule before the January rush. And right now is the perfect time because you're learning. When you join us in the summertime, there's not much learning that happens there because you're not faced with those temptations. You're not faced with the demons. And so when you get on our calendar during the holiday seasons, we're teaching you how to live in this crazy season. So you've got those tools. You know how to do it. You're not going to do it perfectly the first time, but you're going to learn how to do it. And so we encourage you to get on our schedules. Darcy has openings available. I have openings available. We're going to put the website in the chat for you if you need our help. You may be able to talk me into keeping the Black Friday special. If you message us and say, Monica, can I still have it? Coach Darcy, can I still have it? There may be some things that we can do. Really cool thing with the Elite program, the 3-month program, is that you get labs. You know exactly where your foundational labs are. And so you have that option to get those if you want those. And then, of course, the CGM as well. So let us know if you want on our schedule, and we will definitely follow back up with you. Just reach out to us via Messenger or email, and I'll put before we go here, I will put the link. Actually, I will drop the link in as soon as this chat is over. Okay. Any last minute thoughts?
I would just, highly encourage you to focus on those goals and
what do you want?
Focus on
what do you
focus
want,
on
I say.
What you want. What do you want? What do you see? Where do you see the future you? Do you see yourself going into the world of ailments starting to occur and answers that need questions that need to be answered with your health and your lifestyle? Even if you're just curious, setting up a consult call with Coach Monica and myself just to see if this is even something that would be beneficial for you. We love getting you on the phone to be able to hear your story, hear where you are, and be able to put you in the right program. Right. So far, the CGM program's probably my top favorite.
It's working. It's amazing.
It's working. So just definitely pre-think about your future.
We're here every Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. or 10 minutes before 11 a.m. as today. But we're here every Tuesday morning. Reach out to us if you have any questions, and we'd be happy to answer them. All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.